Hi agents, Missy Stegers, broker owner of M. Stegers Realty Partners, bringing you a topic that I think is very important for everyone to participate in and pay attention to. Now, last video I did talked about all the contract changes that happened. Well, this video is going to talk about the new proposed changes on top of those changes that already happened. And I don't think many of us pay attention to that. We'll gripe about it after the fact, but we also need to know that we can participate in making comments and giving our opinion on if we think these contract changes are valid. Your voice does matter. It is very important to have a voice in reference to these changes because the Texas Real Estate Commission does listen. We'll be providing links at the end of this video for you to go make comment on, but I wanted to bring to you the changes that are being proposed to the 1-to-4 residential contract, and plant that suggestion in your mind, and then highly suggest you go look at all the other changes because there's quite a few on some different other forms that they are making proposed changes to that I suggest you give your input. So let's talk about the 1-to-4 contract changes. The proposed, some of them are simple and it's like, is it really worth the change? But here we go. The term escrow agent is capitalized now as a status of a defined term. No biggie. Paragraph 3 is amended to add a definition of cash portion of the sales price. Not a big one. Next one is a new required notices section is added to paragraph 6, which provides one location where MUD or PID or other similar notices that have been given are attached to the contract as listed. That's actually a probably pretty good change. Makes it pretty clear so no one forgets to give notice on that, and it's also recognized in the contract whether you're in a MUD or a PID. Then in addition to that, paragraph 7, revised to require the seller provide the buyer with copies of documentation that repair persons that shows both the scope of work and payment for the work completed, and transfer at seller's expense any transferable warranties. Now, currently in the contract, it has that warranties are upon the buyer. I personally am going to go make some comments on this because I think this is setting us up for some other issues. And in addition to that, how do we define documentation for a repair person if some of the repairs don't require a repair person, like changing a light bulb? Certainly a seller can change a light bulb, so it's going to cause some confusion. So that would be a reason why you would want to go make comments and give them some insight to that. I personally will be doing that. And of course, I'll go through the rest of these and suggest you do the same for the ones that bother you. Paragraph 7 is amended to replace the term residential service company with the terminology used by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Paragraph 9 is amended to add the transfer of any warranties to correspond with the change in paragraph 7F. New paragraph 9B 5 provides that private transfer fees will be the obligation of the seller unless otherwise provided for in this contract. Paragraph 11 is amended to further clarify the intent of the paragraph by replacing the terms factual statements and business details with informational items, which is now defined, and adding that real estate brokers cannot practice law and are prohibited from adding to or deleting or modifying the contract unless drafted by a party to the contract. That's probably a really good one because we all get in trouble for that. Paragraph 13 is amended to clarify what amounts will be prorated through the closing date. Paragraph 18B is amended to add that if no closing occurs, the escrow agent may require a written release of liability before releasing the earnest money. Interesting enough, that's the way it's always been done, but it's not been in writing. So now you can actually, with that one, point to it with your buyer or your seller and say, hey, it's here in writing. Paragraph 21 is amended to add a line for a courtesy copy to another individual, like an agent. So those are just some of the 1 to 4 proposed changes. They have lots of other contract changes and some of the other addendums. I'm going to suggest again, click the link or copy the link down. Go take a look at what the proposed changes are, and more importantly, please take the time to make comments so that we all see changes that we agree with, that we live with daily in practicing real estate versus what some people think is a great idea. Thanks for joining me, Missy Stegers. Any questions, we can always answer or help you or find the answer, 210-305-5665.